We're very gratified that after a long delay, a measure of justice was achieved today with a verdict that was returned against John Burge. The jury spoke loudly and clearly with their guilty verdicts on 3 counts, and the jury found Mr. Burge guilty of perjury and obstruction of justice. But what's clear is that the jury necessarily found that torture occurred in Chicago police stations in Area 2 in the 1980s. And it's a disgrace that in this city, in the 1980s, people could be subjected to abuse and torture, ranging from guns to the face, guns and mouths, suffocating, electric shocks, radiator burns, that sort of thing.
You know, when Mr. Burge took the stand, I think he took that risk, and he had a lot of questions that we think weren't answered, and his story shifted during his testimony. And I think that probably left the jury with the sense that this man's testimony changes when necessary.
People want these prosecutions to be brought, and when we do bring them, juries will hear the evidence and they'll evaluate it fairly. So we're very happy with this outcome.
We are elated that finally, 25 years after this evidence first came to light, there is some modicum of justice. There is some modicum of justice in this case. But as all of us know, this is only one phase in a long struggle that shall continue. And that struggle shall include the continued investigation of those men who this trial showed tortured under John Burge's command. Those men have to be indicted and tried for their perjury and obstruction the same way that Burge was.
I sat in a prison cell and I prayed for this day. Today is a victory for every poor person. I was 16 years old. This is America. 16 years old. What are we going to do about other people who are sitting in those prisons? My daughter is 29 years old. I missed all those years with my daughter, sitting in those prison cells for a crime I did not commit. I do not feel sorry for John Burge.
These sort of things that happened in 1982 and 1985, being punished, 25, 28 years later, that's not a full measure of justice. On the other hand, the sense that finally there's a verdict that stands there that a jury found beyond a reasonable doubt, all 12 of them, that this happened, should be some measure of justice to recognize and reckon with history. And we need to have it on the record that this happened. We need to treat it as a fact that it was proved. And we need to recognize that this was an awful thing before we can move forward.